Peace, family. Peace. We are finally live. Thank you, as always, for being patient with Brother Rich. Man, I got a great guest. If y'all was rocking with the channel in 2020, 2021, y'all made some money with me and this brother right here. So I'm glad to have the brother back on. I want y'all to it's gonna be a great financial show, and not just financial, but just to be in the loop of where the world is going. This brother has always been ahead of the curve, ahead of times. He takes this extremely serious, and it's a pleasure to have the brother on here. I'm about to bring him on, but first, I want to get to a few commercials, family. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the link. We're gonna start the show right after these couple of commercials. Be right back, family.
Hey there! Had a bad dream? I have dreams too. Some parts are scary and some parts are fun. Always remind yourself, it's only a dream and everything will be okay. I had a dream about being in a forest too. Check it out, my pet Petey was with me. Order your copy of Kayla Petey and the Forest on Amazon today.
It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Inner Alignment Workshop Through Your Eyes and Your Numero with Dr. Shakira Moore and King Simon on February 11th, 2023. Dr. Shakira and King Simon. Get your tickets now at Linktree/King Simon the Numerator.
All right. We back live without further ado. Chicago Bitcoin Bully, welcome back to the platform, my brother.
What's going on, Brother Rich? Happy to be back. Let me know if my audio is coming through. Is the audio good? Everybody can hear clear? I'm not muffled?
Now, you good just a little bit because of the mask, but you pretty much good.
I got you. I ain't going to wear this the whole time. I'm going to switch the screen so I can share what I want to share, take it off. But I did want to give people a little look at what I got going on. You know, I got the new clothing line open. Oh, there we go. Hodl. You know what I'm saying? Representing Bitcoin, everything Bitcoin over here. So, you know, everything is crypto centered. You know what I mean? This is rich clothing. This is wealthy clothing. The only people that are going to be wearing this type of style are people that are in the know. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't in the know, it's going to go right over your heads. Right over your heads.
That's powerful, my brother. I'm glad you're doing it on the independent tip. You always been into the whole decentralized thing. Listen, man, this thing, like I said, a lot of people who sign up for the workshops with us, you know, they did great. They learned a lot about this money matrix that's changing. And Bitcoin, the whole market, crypto market went down last year, and a lot of people got scared. One of the things that you taught me, brother, that because I made a lot of money in 2021 and 2020. One of the things that helped me out last year, you told me don't invest nothing you can't afford to lose. So my money, I'm able to just wait for it to go back up because it's going to go back up. I didn't have to snatch what I still had in there and worry and be frantic. I was able just to let it sit there, and you know, it went down a little and now it's coming back up. So that's one thing, but there's so much going on, my brother. I'm gonna let you get into everything. Let us know everything that's going on with the market, DeFi, all that stuff. Tell us about all the new stuff happening. We need to know, brother. We need to be in the know like you. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing, my brother.
No, I got you. If you can, please share my screen, Brother Rich. That way I can share a couple of, articles, a couple of stories. Yeah. Take a look at the prices. I think the last time we were live, I know Bitcoin was higher than $25,000. And if anybody goes back and watches that video, I believe that I called somewhere close to a $20,000 bottom. I think we were trading maybe $35,000 or $45,000, but I said the individual should be prepared for prices to come a lot lower than where they were at the time.
You said that. And, I remember.
Man, bro, if anybody's followed my track record, bro, I've damn near always told people to be prepared for a bear market while everybody else is gung-ho and all prices are going crazy and buy. And it's like, hold on, slow down, sit back. It's getting a little bit too FOMO-y. You know what I mean? You maybe need to start easing up a little bit and waiting. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. In a bull run, a bear market is going to come. Just like in a bear market, a bull run is going to come. It's all about timing and being able to identify when that shift in the market comes. So in order for individuals to really profit off of it. Now, if we're talking long-term investments, in fact, I got some visuals tonight for my long-term people. You know what I mean? If you're willing to wait a year, 2, 3 to see what type of returns you're going to get, it's a kind of a different story. You know what I mean? And then, you're not going all in or anything like that. You're going to find a way to siphon small amounts of that money out into the market while the value is fluctuating back and forth. But as of today, we're beginning of the new year, brother. Happy New Year, brother Rich. Happy New Year to you.
Yes,
Happy
New Year, brother.
Black Magic family, everybody out there that's tuning in right now. And I actually just got an email, brother Rich, from a brother that said he took the class over. What did he say? He said, I took the DeFi mastery class over a year ago. I'm still digesting it. I'm like, whoa, like it was a lot of information shared. It was a lot of information shared. And the reason that people can still utilize that a year, 2 years later is because the information was given well before its time. Well before its time. So it's like when I'm speaking about things, they have yet to manifest themselves as far as the mass hysteria or the public viewing goes. Like you said yourself, I was telling y'all about NFTs before anybody even knew what the hell it was. It was kind of like whatever, but then it came and it's like, oh shit, I remember him saying something about these NFTs. You know what I mean? So it's really all about being able to be at the right place, right time with the right amount of information. And I think that's one of the biggest things that you, especially us combined, are able to bring to people, which is a lot of information. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the current market. And we're probably just going to look at Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum to get kind of an idea of what's been going on since last year, since the bull market, where we're at in the bear market, and what people can look at in expectations of that bear market possibly turning around. So for those that are familiar, you already know we're looking at candlestick charts. This is able to identify price action within a specific time frame. So what we're going to look at is, I think we've had our first master class around 2020. So that was around the COVID area, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, from those prices, brother Rich, which are anywhere from about 3,000, I will say 4,000, maybe 10,000, Bitcoin ran to 69, 50, 58 first, and then 69, almost $70,000 to where we're at now, back up to 23, but after coming off of a low. What was the lowest price here? $15,600. So from 70K all the way back down to 15,000. Now, normally, individuals that are late to the party, they may have bought this top up here or these tops thinking that, hey, we're going to 100K. Hey, we're going to $1 million. Those are the people that are going to be most butthurt right now.
Oh, man. Tell me about it.
Because it's like, and that's the thing about retail and the thing about individuals that lack the correct amount of information. They're normally Johnny come late and they get in once all the hype is around it versus over the last couple of months, brother Rich, ain't nobody wanted to talk about no crypto. Ain't nobody wanted to look at no crypto. Why? Because prices aren't just shooting up exponentially. But let me say this. It's the individuals that are interested and involved in the space when nobody else is, when there's nothing going on, that are going to be the most profitable of those individuals. And you can tell that just by looking at every single dip that, catastrophic dip that scared the shit out of everybody, and then the reaction or the results that came after that dip. This is nothing different. This is nothing, brother. I mean, if we're looking at this is Bitcoin from 2013 to where we're at right now. So that's almost, that's 10 years. This is 10 years. Every time we've had an exponential run up and then an even more drastic pull down. But then look at the run ups. Pull down, run up, pull down, run up. We got the pull down. So if you're understanding that this thing is a creature of habit and it moves almost in cycles, unbeknownst to most, but for those with the trained eye, they can identify those cycles. When you're seeing those pullbacks, right? If you're not a dollar cost average, if you're the type that's just trying to get your best position, the best positions come in bear markets, definitely not in bull markets. The way I like to explain it to individuals is that, would you jump on a moving train? Absolutely not. Normally, if you're trying to catch the train, if it's past your station, you wait for it to come back to the station, pick you up, and then continue uptown, even though sometimes it may continue downtown. And that's where price continues to exceed where you originally got in, even though your thoughts on, okay, we're going to be end up going uptown eventually. And that's what time it was over the last couple of months. When the train was going downtown, individuals weren't jumping on it. Now that it's up here, I can almost guarantee you, Brother Rich, I can almost guarantee that maybe 80, I would say 75 to maybe 80% of individuals that don't really pay attention to the market from a detailed or from a technical perspective are just now buying Bitcoin as the price is surging right now versus buying it when there was blood in the streets, right? So now, if we're looking at Bitcoin being at $23,000 right now, and we're trying to get an idea of, okay, well, where's the next stop? Where's the next obstacle? Where's the next point? Or where's the next target? Or what's the next price point? What I'm looking at, this is just based off my own expertise, my own understanding, my own opinion. Let me put this out there right now. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. Please don't take anything that I'm sharing as any type of financial advice. This is just my opinion. I have absolutely no degrees and no certificates in any type of economic or financial studies. I'm 100% self-taught. So please, for those that may be new to this show and may think I'm one of those guys that say they know it all, I'm definitely not, y'all. Any and everything that I'm saying should be used as educational and or entertainment, right? Always go do your own due diligence. Always go do your own due diligence. You can use this to give you some type of direction, but don't take it as gospel and be like, he said this. And even though my track record kind of speaks for itself, but I'm saying that to say that as of right now, if we were going to proceed up before, we would look for some type of resistance level or something that's going to combat us from continuing on. The next target would be about $25,000 from where we currently sit, being at $23,000, roughly $200. Now, it's a couple of things that would have to happen in order for this to actually play out the way that we want it. Number one, being able to hold that $23,000 as support, meaning that we would want these rectangles or these squares to hold above certain levels for X amount of days, X amount of weeks before we continue on the journey to the upside. If they're unable to hold those levels, right, then the only option is for it to come and start pulling back. And even then, it's a science to understand where that price is going to pull back from. So, you know, one easy way that I've found to identify where price may, you know, rally up to or down from is by utilizing this neat little tool here called a Fibonacci extension tool, right? What this allows us to do is see mathematical price points to the upside and or the downside, depending on how you hold it, right? Or depending on how you pull it, rather. In this case, I'm pulling it from a swing high to a swing low. And we can see already, for those that understand, each one of these lines represent a barrier. Either it's a barrier to go higher, or if you're above it, it's a barrier to go lower. As of right now, we're looking at barriers to the upside. So let me see. Let me extend these real quick. Let me move these over from the left to the right, middle to the top, values to percents, and then bam, there we go. So what we can look at right now is that we're being rejected by a level known as the 23.6% Fibonacci extension line. And not to get too heavy into it, it's just an invisible line that shows mathematically where you may see areas of areas where it finds trouble to get past. But normally, once it gets past these lines, these levels, you can see a gradual shoot to the very next level. Now, not only these invisible levels, you got to be mindful of previous highs, previous lows. That would be something similar if we were looking at this on a line graph to these high points. Let me remove all this real quick. There we go. So these high points here, high points here, high points here, low points here. Each one of these high points on the way back up after breaking down below them end up being a possible level of resistance, meaning that you're not going to see further continuation until you're able to pop back above those levels. This level right here on a line basis comes in around 24,600. If we turn it back to a candlestick, then you got a wick high of 25,135. So before we're able to advance to our 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, which comes in at about $28,000. We're first going to have to cross over, break, and then find support above $25,000. But once we get above $25,000, 28,000 to about 35,600 would be the levels of interest, not taking out 32,000, which is your 50 or your kind of in the middle price target. Now, what I'm doing is just giving everybody a outlook on what we could be expecting to the upside in the midterm, right? This isn't okay, 25,000 to 30,000 to 35,000, then it's over with. No, once we get to those levels, you want to come back, do another evaluation, and then look for the higher prices, which if we're able to get above $35,000, I would eye our previous high here, which comes in at about $48,000. But you don't look this high until you've broken the earlier barriers that you're going to be coming into contact with. You get what I mean? Now, none of this matters. 25, 28, 32, 35. None of this matters if we can't first get past the line of resistance, which is coming in where our current price action is, which is at the 23.6, which is $23,272. What we'll be looking for is a closure with a follow-through candlestick back above this level in order to see continuation or price continue to move to the upside. So if we fail, right, let's say we're unable within the next couple of days or weeks to get above this level, that's when you're going to start looking at, okay, well, what are the possibilities of this thing moving opposite against me? And that's where you take the same exact tool, pull it a different way, and then it's going to give you an outline or an outlook to the downside. So if we're unable to break above 23,000, right, we'll just leave it at 23,000 even. We look to the downside and see, okay, well, what are our possibilities as far as breaking this thing down? In fact, you know what? Let me actually break this down a little further. Let's break down to a daily. There we go. Not bad, not bad. So now what we're looking at to the downside, right, utilizing the same exact tool, which once again is just a mathematical equation that shows us points of interest to the upside and the downside. Right now, we're looking at the downside. We're looking at areas of around 22,000, 21,800. You can round it up to 22. 20,600, which I would round it around 25, based off earlier charts that I've looked at. 19,600, all the way back down to 18,700. Now, when you're utilizing this chart, you normally don't want to go anywhere below your 618, meaning that if we were to have the most drastic pullback, if we're looking for this to bounce and then continue going up towards the $25,000 and $30,000 ranges, I really wouldn't want to see it break anywhere shy of that 18,700 on a closing basis, meaning we can get one of these long sticks, these wicks, right? You can get that, but these bodies is what you want to see close above those specific pivot points. Now, that's just price, right? We're just talking about price right now. So a lot of other things that have been going on in the space, right? In fact, I think one of the biggest things that people need to focus on is where they're putting their money. We've seen a lot of
I heard they just taking people's shit, man, like snatching it, man.
Well, if we're speaking on contract and how this space works and what I teach about not your keys, not your coins, yes, in a sense, they're taking people's money, but only because the people have chosen to rightfully give them their money. And that ties into this such story right here, where the judge is denying a motion for a centralized cryptocurrency platform users to reclaim their assets, because what they're saying is that in the fine print, Brother Rich, which people don't read, terms and conditions, in the fine print, it told the customers, if you put your money on this specific platform in this specific protocol, you are actually handing over ownership of your capital to this platform. So now they're not even given a remedy to get their funds back because they contracted in for it to work like that. That's why y'all really got to read what you're doing in this space. On top of that, you never want to give your cryptocurrency assets or your digital assets up to a platform that holds the private keys. Because within this new digital space, I've said this over the last 5 years, it's all about ownership. That's the biggest thing when I got into blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. They were calling it sovereign wealth transfer, right? Meaning that this is the way now. If we think back to when Bitcoin first came out, which was out of the 2008 housing market crash, where the big banks, the institutions, took individuals' money and rightfully used it to bail the banks out. Bitcoin came out as an alternative to an individual having to have their money in the banks, brother Rich. This is the whole point when Bitcoin came out.
Right.
And so you can have your ownership of wealth. Now, I think where they got it misconstrued is that individuals looked at it as money, meaning that it's going to be run concurrent with the dollar and be stable to whereas no matter what, every day is going to be the same, even though the dollars don't do that. But what individuals really wanted to look at it and what it has ended up evolving into is more so than money. It's a store of wealth, or a way that an individual can fight inflation, fight the depreciation of the dollar, and then fight the ownership that individuals take when you put your assets or your money in these centralized platforms. So the biggest thing was Bitcoin was like, hey, it's yours. Only you can hold it, keep it, send it, and nobody can come in and say, hey, you can't do this and you can't do that. So in the event of another financial crash, right, they cannot then come and take what is yours because you have not chosen to give it to them. But when you sign up for platforms like Celsius, FTX, Coinbase, Binance, in fact, I think we shared this last time on your show. If we didn't, let me share this right now so people do know this. Keep customers' money, because Coinbase has come out to say that if they do go bankrupt, hold on, let me just speak out my here we go, right here. Coinbase disclosures customers could lose their crypto if it ever goes bankrupt. Right? Even though they say there's absolutely no risk to bank. That's like me telling you, brother Rich, hey, look, let me hold a couple of dollars right now. If I happen to lose this money, right, you're definitely not going to get it back, but don't worry, I'm not going to lose it, right? You're letting me borrow it. Now, normally when you let somebody borrow anything, that puts them in a debtor relationship, and right, then they are contracted in to reimburse you no matter what.
No matter what, exactly.
Right? But when you sign certain contracts, like the contract that they've signed with Coinbase, you may be opting out of that decision. And that's why people got to read and really understand where they're putting their capital, what type of platforms they're putting their capital on. And one of the biggest things is, did you give up ownership? Did you give up custody? You got custodial and non-custodial. What I like to look at is private and non-private, right? Centralized and decentralized. It's a thin line, but it's a thick line in the space to education. In fact, as I'm speaking about that, let me also share this with you real quick, because for those that are have been following me for any amount of time and know that the future of this rests in a lot of different sectors, we are going live and viewing live right now from the metaverse, right? From a couple of locations that are historically in Chicago, but have now been rebuilt to last the stand the test of time within the metaverse. One of those spots right now that we're in, which we do have a couple of viewers coming in right now, let me make sure everything's running correctly, is the Regal Theater. Another spot that we have showing up, and it's probably going to take a minute because I'm got so much stuff running. Let me go out here and see. Yeah, it's going to take a while for everything to load up. So we'll come back to this page. Let everything load up. But we are live within the metaverse. So there we go, right there. There we go. Just have to give it a minute to let everything pop in real quick. There we go, right there. There we go. Bam. So as you can see, we are live in the metaverse right now. We do have people tuning in. For those that do want to check in, all you got to do is click the link in my bio on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, Chicago Crypto Block Bully, the website or the Instagram page that you want to be on. But we are live in the metaverse right now. So this right here is kind of like the futuristic stuff that individuals will get in tune with, need to understand. This is the future of entertainment, Brother Rich. You know what I mean? In fact, I would love to do a couple of exclusive shows with you that are token gated, meaning that individuals are going to have to own NFTs in order to access those specific shows. You know what I mean? It's just a step into the future as Brother Rich. In fact, I think I got your
Yeah, I think I do got everything for you on the blockchain side too. But it's just an aspect that I want you and I want your viewers to start being able to get interactive with, as this is going to be the future of learning and other aspects. Now, on
Real
top
quick,
of the
real
metaverse,
quick.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, real quick before we move on, I definitely want to ask you. I know what's on a lot of people's mind. What happened to the NFT game, and do you feel as though that's going to make a comeback once the crypto market rebounds from where it's at right now?
All right. Let me say this, right? What happened to the NFT game was really nothing. And what I mean by that is it depends on what individuals thought about the NFT space, what they use the NFT space for, and what their expectations were. So a lot of people thought that NFTs were these pictures, these things that you buy, and you take the things that you buy and you flip them for a lot more money. And I think that was like surface level, Brother Rich. I think people were really missing the ball on that. So when we talk about what happened to the NFT market, I just want to show y'all in real time what I can back up with on-chain data. What we're looking at right now is my NFT store, which has only been running for the last couple of months. In fact, it started in the bear market. So let's just see, while people are saying the NFT game is over, let me see. This goes back to what? May 29th. So middle of the bear market up until now. So far, I've made about 19 Ethereum, right? So if we do the math, 19 Ethereum to USD, and it's been under a year, I've made somewhere close to about $30,744 off of NFTs. But they said the NFT market is dead, Brother Rich. So I really, all I can speak on is people's interpretation of what the NFT space is. For those that thought it was apes and monkeys and this and that, and thought that was the big game, it wasn't. You were supposed to really rebuild your business on the blockchain, utilizing NFTs as a means of distribution. But nobody talks about that, Brother Rich. So as far as the NFT game, it ain't dead to me. It's dead to individuals that had the wrong mindset on the NFT space. Let me say that. Because anybody could have rebranded themselves and been utilizing these NFTs to further the advancement of their business. Now, let me say this. We are steps ahead of everybody, but that's why you have to introduce your people, your community to this space. Anybody that comes over here thinking it's going to be an easy win, which when we speak about the NFT space, the majority of people got in just like the crypto market during the bull market, during all the hype and everything. You know what I mean? If people would have listened to that show that we did where I introduced them, got in then, at that point, instead of when the hype came, they would have had a better outcome because they would have had a true understanding of it. You get what I mean, Brother Rich? It would have gave them like, okay, of course that they're doing this, they're dropping this. Hey, this NFT project dropped, but I can drop my own NFT project. I can sell my own merch. I can create my own product and utilize this blockchain and utilize these NFTs, non-fungible tokens, in a way that I seem fit. So when y'all think about NFTs, always think about how you can utilize them, not just how you can profit off of what somebody else has created. And that was one of the biggest misconceptions about that space, which is why a lot of people have not had success over the last year, because they thought it was like the cryptos. Oh, I buy it and it just goes up. That ain't what's going on here, y'all. It's you know what I think it is, Brother Rich? It's all about timing with a lot of these things. Depending on what time you get into the space is really going to dictate what your mindset of the space is. Meaning that if you get into, and I've said this before, the bull market is the worst time to get into this space. The worst time. Why is it the worst time? Because everybody thinks they're right and they think that this is the easiest game and this is how it works. And oh, I put in 1,000, now I'm at 10,000. And what happens, right? Because you got levels to it. You got people that were kind of on the edge, got in a little bit halfway. They make money, so they tell their friends. Their friends get in after they've made the money, which is further on down the line. And then that trickle down happens to whereas if you're 3 friends away from the original friend that said something, you may be buying the top because your other friend already made 10, 15, 20,000. So let me say this to y'all right here. If you're into any type of investing and people come to you and they say, hey, man, I just made 10,000. Hey, that shit over with at the end of the day. They made it. That means the move or the lick that you were supposed to hit has already been hit. If you're coming in at the ass end, you're the lick that's getting hit. Because you're the one that individuals that already hit the lick are selling to. So understand that, y'all. Sometimes
The best time to get into some of these investments is when the masses are saying it's the worst time, or no, that crash, this is down. In fact, interestingly enough, man, if we look at if anybody goes back and looks at my first post of the new year, I said this could be the year that you change your financial status, change your financial understanding. Why not make an investment today at the top of the new year within this new money matrix? Anybody, and this is when it was just going down, right? If anybody would have took that advice, Brother Rich, they'd be up 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% within 25. It ain't even been a whole month. You know what I mean? So it's really about where y'all are getting y'all information from, who you're choosing to listen to. And like I say, don't listen to everything I say. Just utilize it and then go do the research on the back of whatever I say. Right? And what I pay attention to, Brother Rich, not so much are the loud ones, but those that have a longevity within the generational wealth game. So I really don't pay attention to individuals that are just coming into wealth. Just got rich. I kind of pay attention to individuals that have been able to pass wealth down for the last couple of 100 years and see how they've been able to manage that, how they've done that. And those are the ones that I really try to kind of take notes from. You know what I mean? So when I look at cryptocurrency, it's not from a standpoint of, man, can I put this in and then make this real quick? Or can I put this in and then be able to knock off this? Or can I put this in and stop working? I didn't get in this and stop working, right? I got in this because it was interesting. And once I understood it for the future, the way that, not white, how smart people look at it. Because I think a lot of times, Brother Rich, we tend to give a lot of the kudos of, oh man, they knew. The days, we tend to give them a skin color. And it ain't a skin color, y'all. It's just an educational thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's not that white people think 100 years ahead. It's smart people think 100 years ahead or a couple 100 years ahead. And I'm trying to be within that fold of thinking a couple of 100 years ahead. I'm not thinking today. I'm not thinking tomorrow. And the thing is, if you try to set up, right? Let's just say you try to set up a system to whereas, okay, I'm gonna work on my children first. Work on making sure that they're lightweight straight, right? By the time you set it up to whereas your children are kind of decent within the financial sector, you yourself should already be set, because there's no way for you to skip a generation to get on them without you first handling your own commercial affairs so that you can allocate capital to the kids' future, right? Once you are secured with them and you got it set up, you start working on the grandchildren. Once the grandchildren are set up, you start working on the great-grandchildren. Now, the thing is, I didn't catch up on to this type of investing or this type of thinking, Brother Rich, till I was well in my 30s. Imagine if I was taught this from childhood, right? Which is how, once again, smart people teach the family. You know what I mean? We're not raising our kids. Well, they're not raising their kids and then just kicking them out at 18 saying, hey, go get a good job, go hard work and elbow grease and nah. Hey, look, this is the business. This is how we run the business. When you turn this age, this is going to be your position. You're going to move your way up. And then with you teaching them that, they're going to teach their children that. So that eventually what you have is just a family business that's constantly rotating in and out the members of the family as we pass and as we're born. That's how you pass generational wealth, Brother Rich, is through information and businesses set up to allow us to employ our family and keep everything in the family. Because at the end of the day, a lot of individuals are getting these other families rich.
The Bluetooth is disconnected.
Oh, hold on, let's turn this off. There we go. My apologies. But a lot of times, man, we getting somebody else rich because we don't got our eyes on the prize. And the eyes on the prize is not how much can I get and how much can I buy. It's how decent or how much security, how much insurance can I leave my generations to come when I'm not even here. And I promise y'all, if y'all start thinking like that, it's going to manifest it to whereas you're going to look up and be like, oh, shit, I didn't understand that I was this decent right now. Because you've been putting so much focus on the future. Focused on the future, it's going to end up panning out and having the present be pretty damn comfortable. You know what I'm saying, Brother Rich?
Definitely.
Let me see. What else? Man, women right now. We were doing a live the other day, and it said that women were the top. No, they said cryptocurrency was the number 2 asset class. In fact, let me just, because I like to show and tell. I really don't just like to go off the head. I like to show and tell. Women, crypto, number 2 asset held. Let's see if we can get the story real quick. There we go, right here. Cryptocurrency is now the second most widely held financial asset among women. And when we were reading it, it was saying that this is only number 2 to cash, meaning that, you know, through surveys and whatnot and through their analytics, they've come to find that after women holding just the duckos, just the bag, cryptocurrency, and the reason I'm gonna get into why I think cryptocurrency is the second most widely held asset for women, because it's the easiest to hold, brother Rich. It's the easiest to gain access to. And now this not only goes for women, what we got to understand that this goes for children, because there's a very low barrier to children getting in, and it is only education. In fact, not this specific place, but I did have, let me see if I can actually get it here. I have had children assist me in creating a Metaverse academy, right? We were able to create an academy that allowed individuals to come in and learn hands-on, on the spot. And then the children that I taught to build the academy are getting a return of the proceeds of individuals that are buying monthly tuition tickets in order to learn within this Metaverse Block Wall Street Academy, right? So the barrier is just for you to teach your children and let them get involved. This is really like this right here. This is their world, brother Rich. How could you not introduce for the amount of individual parents out there that are spending money on V-Bucks, on Robux, on VCs, virtual currencies for them to play the games? Why would you not allow them to play games where they can actually get a return on their money and learn how to operate and how to construct this new world that we're living in? You know what I mean? So focus should always be on the future and on the children. Go ahead, brother Rich.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Indeed.
You about to say something, brother Rich?
No,
okay,
but I do.
Got you. Go ahead. My fault.
No, you good, brother. Good. I'll ask a question in a little while, but go ahead. Good. I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay, cool. Now when we speak about the Black community, right, and cryptocurrency, I think one of the what's the word? It's not pseudo. What's the word? Man, it's a word. I can't think of it. I think one of the drawbacks with us in crypto, number one is education. Number two is instant gratitude. But with that instant gratitude, I understand that it comes from a level of misunderstanding and a level of us not having, let me not say it like that, because then it puts everybody in a pot. For the general demographics, right? I'm from Chicago, you know what I mean? So the average individuals out here from where I'm from don't have the financial know-how of building wealth, being able to obtain, save, and manage capital, right? So when you don't have a lot of capital to work with, right? In fact, as an example, I work at a nonprofit work with a nonprofit organization out here where I'm teaching some of the youth. Now these youth are some of the most at-risk youth that we have in Chicago, right? Gun cases, shooting victims, majority from the underworld, right? Now, when I'm talking to these brothers, brother Rich, the number one, they're super interested. But when I look and see the level of miseducation that we've been handed down, because we only are understanding money as this thing that we need to get in order to have a good life, it keeps us focused on how can I just get more? How can I? And I need it quick. I need to pay this. I need to pay that. To where we don't have an ability to ease up and actually get a time to think, right? That's one reason why I like cryptocurrency. Number one, it's easier for individuals to get in. There's little to no red tape, to whereas it does not need a name, social security number, credits. You don't need all that to get into this space. All you need is a wallet, internet access, a smart device, and the know-how, right? And something as little, right? Let me just crunch some numbers real quick. Let's crunch some numbers, and I want to show people, right? That you do not have to break the bank. Let me go get this other link real quick. You do not have to break the bank in order to actually make some real capital within this cryptocurrency space. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at not even, let's see, we'll say $10, right?
Yeah, we'll say $10. We'll say $10. Let's do something small like $10. Let's rewind the tape. Let's go back to the beginning of COVID, right? Let's go back to the beginning of COVID. And look, we'll start with something big. We'll start with Bitcoin. Let's do, and you know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna speak to my people out there that are hustlers. I'm gonna speak to the hustlers out there that are making money every day. Because there's a lot of us that come from this background that actually make money hand over fist. We just don't know how to manage it. So for the hustlers out there, let's say you just wanted to spend $10 a day. That in Chicago, you can't even get a pack of backwoods for $10. They about $15 for a 5-pack of backwoods. So number one, we only talking about backwood money here. Just talking about backwood money here. Now, let's say we did this from March, which I think was when COVID started. Let's say March 2020. Oh, hold on. Let's see, where is it? 2020. Nope. There it is. March 2020. And let's just run that out to, we'll say March 2023. We'll say March 23. Let's see, 2020. 2022. My apologies. 2020 to 2022, which was the beginning of the bear market. $10, and this is the higher assets. $10 in Bitcoin, $7,000 investment, $17,000 return. Ethereum, $7,000 investment, $38,500 return. Now, if we start looking at some of these other assets that are a lot more cheaper in value, something like Polygon Matic, who's had some of the larger partnerships this year. Remember, this is $10 a day. And I'll play with it a little bit, but $10 a day. You would have invested $7,000 from 2020 to 2022. You would have ended up with over $250,000 off a $10 a day investment. Now, let's say we can't do $10 a day. Let's just say we can do $10 a week. You're turning $1,000 into $40,000. $10 a week, right? So when we look at what the possibilities, now let's just say, let's do this, Brother Rich. This is just one person in the household. What if you got a household of, let me see, mother, father, we'll say 2 children, son, daughter. Children are kind of age, so they're able to work or are working. Let's just say everybody as a family unit, we all put $10 up a week. So that brings us to $40 a week, right? Now we're looking at $4,200 on Matic, just weekly, being about $160,000 return. Who can't share with their family $10 a week, Brother Rich? And I'm showing this because I'm showing y'all you don't have to break your bank to make these sound investments and get these type of returns.
Right, exactly.
All you got to do is be diligent, understand where you're putting your money at, right? Depending on, and what I mean by that is, are you giving up custody? Is this a solid project, right? What is the upside potential? Which you're going to learn that the upside potential lies in the cheaper currencies, which then you can reallocate the capital into the larger cap currencies. Meaning, let's look at it like this, right? Let's just say you pick Bitcoin, Brother Rich. You're not too much into the little coins. You're like, I'm going to do Bitcoin. $40 a week. 4,200. Hold on, where's BTC? There we go. So 4,200, you're going to bring back 9,500. That's okay. Me, myself, I chose to go with Matic, right? So now that 42 brings me back 160,000. Hey, you brought what, 9,500? I can take that 95 out of this 160, put that to the side, and go spend the rest of this on BTC. So now I got X amount more Bitcoin than you, because Bitcoin should be one of the let me not say should be. As we look at the whole cryptocurrency market, I look at Bitcoin, because I've seen it already used as legal tender across the world, as being a possible, let me not say one world currency, that scares people. We'll see one of the main mediums of exchange. We'll say that. It'll be one of the main mediums of exchange. So you always want to keep your eyes of how much BTC can I accumulate. Not can I flip, meaning can I buy one Bitcoin now and sell it at the end of a bull market, but how many can I accumulate by the end of that bull market? right? Which then is going to allow you to sell off some. That way you can keep on with your living habits, living arrangements, taking care of your financial responsibilities, and still have some in the kitty for the long term. Because remember, we may not be having hands-on experience with this right now, Brother Rich, but I can guarantee, Brother Rich, and I can put money on it, your son will be dealing with cryptocurrencies and more than just, I'm using crypto to buy things. It's going to be way more than that. I've showed the real estate on the blockchain, right? If we look at real estate and the tokenization of it, let me see. One thing individuals got to understand that the tokenization of actually all the world assets, right, is a real thing. So when your son
Bitcoin, what do you mean by tokenization? When you said the tokenization of the assets like real estate, what do you mean by that?
So what you're able to do is create tokens that represent physical properties, right? We can look at something like Lofty AI, right? This is where you're able to buy $50 tokens. Let's see if we can actually view some of the properties right now, which represent actual property, right? So let's see, $50 for an 8% return. You also get daily rent paid out on these tokens, but these tokens represent physical locations. So let me give you an example of how we are to do this, right? Let's say you and I buy some property, Brother Rich. What we're going to do is we're going to place the ownership of that property into an LLC. What we'll do is we'll take that LLC and we will give it a digital representation broken down into the form of tokens, which is now going to allow fractional investing into this one piece of property through the use of these tokens. Because we can break it down, as you see here, they got 26,360 tokens at $50 a pop, right? Another 309 tokens at 51 plus $1 a pop. So when we're looking at the tokenization, which gold, silver, we got to understand tokenization, NFTs. These are means of distribution and record keeping at the end of the day. Is this token a piece of brick out of this building? No, but this token represents a legal representation of a partial ownership of this building. So that's what I mean by tokenization, Brother Rich. We can create software or technology that can represent, oh wow, I'm buying this. It's a property in Chicago. I'm gonna go grab this after the show. But we can use these tokens to represent physical things. And it's not that it is going to be the physical thing, it's going to be the means by which we distribute, we share, we get paid, and we transact with these tangible things in a non-tangible way. Make a little more sense?
Indeed.
So, and these are the type of things that I'm telling us we got to get ready for. Like, let's just say you're in real estate, Brother Rich, and you have no idea that they're tokenizing real estate. Do you think you're up to par with real estate then? Do you think you're up on the latest and greatest of what's going on?
Not at all, brother. Not at all.
And these are the type of things I'm trying to bring to people's understanding. Even when we look at trademarks, right? Everybody thinks that, trademarking is just through LegalZoom or whatever the case may be. But when we look at, let's say, blockchain trademarking, right? I wonder if I can find that same video. Let's see. Is this going to be it? Not so much. But what we're looking at is a new form, a new system where the original trademarking system has no bearings over here, Brother Rich. Meaning that if you own blackmagic363.com and trademarking everything in the traditional world, I can go behind your back and go buy it all on the blockchain. And what that is going to mean is that once we do have the transition, because let me say this about the blockchain as well. Let me say this about what we're operating on. Let me talk about what these platforms are on. These are running on what is known as Web 3.0. To be honest, really kind of Web 2.5 right now, but they're calling it Web 3.0, which is the evolution of the internet. So right now, everybody's working on just Web 2.0, which there's no ownership in the data that you're operating with, right? With Web 3.0, not only can we own the data, but you're going to have to come back through and own, how do I put it? All those intangibles like names, companies,
businesses, domains, LLCs, right? In fact, the new LLCs are going to be called DAOs, DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, which they're already being honored and represented in Delaware and Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken. But these are going to be the new instruments of the future. So if you've got businesses set up in the traditional world, but you do not have your blockchain trademarks, you are doing yourself a great disservice, because somebody like me is going to come and possibly buy it. And then what's going to happen? In fact, interesting story, Brother Rich. I met a sister once doing classes that said she worked with Dr. Sebi, you know, back in the day, and she was helping him with his branding as far as websites and whatnot. And I don't know how true the story is, but she told me that when they looked for drcb.com, somebody else owned it. And she said that they had to pay out $30,000 in order to get ownership of that website, right? So we're seeing that happen again within this blockchain space. Whereas if we look, let me see, who just bought their name? Let me see. I know it's going to be controversial, but I'm not going to bring that up. Let's look at Budweiser, right? ENS names. Here we go. Now, they bought beer.eth, right? Hold on. No thanks. There we go. And they paid about $100,000 for just beer.eth. Why? Because this is the new domain system. So Budweiser may rebrand. And what's interesting about it, I never even thought about it like that. They own beer. They own the word beer on this new system. Damn, meaning they can simply rebrand as beer.eth and not even be Budweiser, even though they'll sell their Budweiser products through this domain name, through this website. Didn't even consider that at the time. But these are the new domains that I'm talking about, right? If we look at, let me see if they got any other ones that have recently sold on here, or if we can find some other highest bought name service. Let's see. Typos. There we go. Let me see. The collection. And my apologies, y'all. Sometimes my mind be going. I be wanting to look up stuff so I can back up what I'm telling y'all, so it doesn't just seem like I'm just shooting in the dark and selling y'all anything. So I like to find, certain stories that can help back up what I'm trying to get y'all to understand and know. So let me see. These are the 5 most expensive ones. Let me see. Paradigm.eth sold for $2 million last. Wow. Okay. Paradigm.eth sold for $2 million. Let me see. Where are these names at? Paradigm.eth, $2 million. PJFI, which I don't know what PJFI stands for, was sold for $350 Ethereum, which was $463,000. And understand, y'all, that these names only cost about $5, $10, $40, depending on what name you're buying. 000.eth sold for $300 Ethereum on July 3rd, 2022. These are just numbers. That's a whole nother game, the numbers game in this space. Because always remember, in this space, you have ownership, direct ownership, not you buy something on GoDaddy and they can really come take that if they want, right? If they so choose, because you really don't own the rights to that information, to that data. ABCE sold for $254,000, right? Some of the most simplest names, phrases, words, right, are being sold over here for what right now, because this is 90 ETH at the current price. Imagine what that sale is going to be when ETH is back to $5,000. Hell, if ETH gets to $10,000 and beyond. Another thing people got to consider, the value at which you may be selling these NFTs for also have the ability to appreciate. So it's not the same as you selling it for dollars, because what you're doing is you're exchanging it for digital assets. So that's like you selling your product for gold and silver, Brother Rich. That means you never have a solid dollar amount. The value at which you sold it at has the ability to appreciate and depreciate against the actual dollar currency that wealth is denominated and counted in. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Porno.eth sold for $204,000. So the main thing that I'm speaking right now, family, if y'all got businesses, if you're a content creator, if you have a name out there and you do not own it on the blockchain, in fact, I just went and bought, I seen the story, right, about about it was Erica Badu and her daughter Puma Curry. So what did I do? I went to the blockchain and I bought her daughter's name. You know what I mean? Because it's like when I come across these things and I start seeing interest start coming on certain individuals, it's like, okay. And then she's in that age group where this not even this is going to be a space where she's operating in. I went and bought her name. So anytime you see domains dealer.eth, that's me. And these are just some of the names that I own, right? Michelle Burke. If you don't know who that is, you may want to go look them up. Pride Porter, No Limit Herbo, Sit Kick Music, real good on the music side. Badu World Market, which she does have BaduWorldMarket.com. I got BaduWorldMarket.eth. George Daniels, man, so many different names that even the Arabic names are starting to get bought up now. So I've started buying names in Arabic. It's a whole nother world, Brother Rich, and people got to be prepared and ready for it. And you're only going to do that through the right information, which is why I'm sharing what I'm sharing with the individuals tonight, which I'm pretty sure are waiting for that next class from us. You know what I mean? So,
indeed. Is there anything new on the scene that we may not know? You know how you introduce us to NFTs. Is there anything new that we may not be aware of right now that you're like, yo, this gonna be the next thing right here?
Okay. Now it still ties in with NFTs, but it's soul-bound NFTs, right?
Soul-bound?
Yes, sir. Soul-bound. Yep.
Okay, what's that?
So soul-bound NFTs are non-transferable NFTs. And the reason it will be a non-transferable NFT is because it's going to represent certain things about, okay, perfect example. Man, I love doing this because sometimes things just get downloaded to me in real time. Think of your social security number, Brother Rich, and think about how many things are tied to that name and that social, such as, we'll say credential-wise, we'll say your bachelor's degree or your high school diploma, dental records, medical records, right? Remember, the blockchain keeps records. Remember, non-fungible tokens can be data, which is information that are kept in records. So if we understand that these names are actually going to represent you in the new world, if I am going to college under my name on the blockchain and they give me a degree, that degree most likely is going to come in the form of a soul-bound token so that it does not leave that name. It's tied to it. You get what I mean? Now people are like, oh, well, what the hell? No. I'm going to tell you why this is so interesting, Brother Rich. It's so important. Because as we look at the record-keeping capabilities of the blockchain and we look at being in the system or out of the system, you know, I mean, some people know my background. Y'all know let me say it like this. For those that are into nationality, right? Separating from the straw man, being able to become quote unquote sovereign, being able to get their own account of records, right? It used to be in the Bible where people kept accounting. In the new era, it's going to be on the blockchain. So think of it like this. If you got children coming into the world, Brother Rich, why would you not buy those children's full name on the blockchain? And why would you not create a certificate of live birth in the form of a soul-bound NFT and then tie it to that child's name? That way we're creating our own birth records on an immutable network that's should transcend through the times. Now, does that mean we don't need to keep the records anywhere else? No, absolutely not. Because I know people are going to say, well, what if the internet cuts off? What if they drop an EPL bomb or whatever, blah, 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 blah. All that is true. All that is factual. That's why you always got to back it up with the physical, even with the cryptocurrency. I've showed time and time again where even if you're making these profits, you want to reallocate to some more tangible assets, such as gold and silver, right? But I think soul-bound tokens are going to be big, not only because of the record keeping. There are, how do I put it? We don't even know the capabilities, monetarily speaking, as of right now, right? Of what soul-bound tokens may have to represent. Man, it's really interesting when I think about it. But let me see, monetarily wise, let me see, what are the biggest things? What is new? You know what? Some of the newer things that we have available, such as protocols, platforms, you got new financial. Okay, as an example, right? Let me see if I can actually find this. So instead of individuals being, and this is more financial, a little more. No, not convex. Hold on. Where's the one I'm looking for? Oh, I can think the name of it. Instead of you having to trade options, futures, the actual digital assets, they're coming up with platforms now that allow you to trade with trade the volatility of the markets. Some of these are kind of high financial instruments that I don't want to lose the people in too much. Another big thing that's coming up, and I got to give big shout outs to my homie Slice IX for putting me on this from the biggest crypto play ever. They now have ways where individuals that are in the music space, you can copyright your music in a matter of minutes for a fraction of the price of what it would take you in the regular music industry. What you're seeing is that this technology is making it a lot more easier for some of the red tape or the barriers that are normally put up that allow us to interact with certain sectors. It's being broken down because of this new technology. And it's mainly because of the blockchain technology, not the cryptocurrencies. So when y'all are coming to this space and you really want to focus on something, I know we can get blinded with the prices, but the tech is what you really, really, really want to pay attention to, right? Because with the tech, each one of us are able to go out and really build the world that we're going to want. And not so much for us. Always remember, this is for your children and your grandchildren. Let me see.
Let's get to some Q&A real quick.
Okay, cool.
Because I see the people they talking a lot in the chat. We're gonna take some Q&A before we get out here, family. So give me some questions. A couple of people said, "Man, that Soulbound, that name sounds scary as a mug, boy. Your soul is bound. Your soul." that shit gonna scare people.
Gotta embrace it, man. And just understand it's duality of everything, brother Rich. It's gonna be an evil. It's gonna be a non-evil. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how we utilize it, though. At the end of the day.
Indeed. Give me some good questions, family. I see some of the questions he answered. I heard him answer them a couple of years ago. Let me see. Okay. How is the introduction of a CBDC going to impact crypto?
Okay, I got you. So with CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies, right? That is going to be the way at which they are able to control the people by getting them to operate with what is not a cryptocurrency. Because let me say this, CBDCs ain't crypto. They're digital currencies, but they're not cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized assets, decentralized currency on the blockchain. These are going to be running on the network that's going to be created by the government for the government. So with CBDCs, the way that it can work is like this, right? And as far as the impact on crypto, I think it's actually going to impact crypto in a positive way, because now it's going to allow more capital to come into the space, understanding that we are going into a digital world, and it's just going to open the floodgates. So you're still going to have individuals that go that way of the CBDC, but you're going to have other individuals that dive a little bit deeper, like, oh, okay, well, we're using CBDCs. Let me go see what this Bitcoin thing was about again. Let me look into this before I just dive head in. Or if I am diving head into this, let me also look at the other side of it, right? But CBDCs are going to be another point of control for the government on the people, whereas cryptocurrencies are going to be the way for the people to control their own financial affairs outside of the CBDCs.
Okay. Should we load up on XRP or XLM?
Brother Rich, how many times? All right, so I'm gonna say
that XRP, that man, the people they never gonna lose faith in that, brother. They always gonna ask you about that, man.
Let me say this: I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form, so I can't give financial advice, and I've never ever told anybody to load up on any one of these cryptocurrencies. What I've always said is, understand the technology of these cryptocurrencies. But load up, I never use words like that because you shouldn't load up on anything. You should understand what you're investing in and then allocate funds responsibly to those investments. But I'm not a moon boy. I'm not one of these people that come, hey, buy a bunch of XRP and you'll be rich in the future. That ain't me, family. So if that's what you're looking for, you're in the wrong spot. Should you consider allocating capital to XRP and XLM only once you've gone and done your due diligence as to what those cryptocurrencies are, what their upside potential are, and what their true utility is? That's what I'll say to that.
Indeed. How do you think AI will play a part in this new money matrix?
AI is definitely going to play a part. In fact, if y'all want to, let me give y'all a heads up. In fact, we've shared this before, but I haven't shared it that much. Singularity, net, AI, crypto. If you want to get ahead of the rest of the market, you want to go check out singularity.net, which is an AI ecosystem, which is the next generation of decentralized AI, which runs on a blockchain. So AI is going to have a direct hands-on, because remember, this is technology. This is technology. So technology is going to integrate with technology. To whereas when you kind of look at some of these smart contracts, right, it's almost like artificial intelligence because they are operating on their own just through the use of code. So when we look at AI, what you want to start finding out is what type of utility is AI going to have in this new future, and try to align yourself with the projects that are going to be heading that AI integration within this future. But it's definitely going to have a hands-on as far as the blockchains go. They already got their own cryptocurrency, which if you hold the AI, let me say this, if you hold Singularity.net's token, it's not financial advice. Well, if you hold it, you're going to be open to receive airdrops, which are similar to a company going public and then giving out shares to the individuals that invested in them in the beginning. So go do your information or go do your due diligence on Singularity.net, and this is going to give you a well-rounded understanding of how AI is going to be incorporated with this blockchain cryptocurrency technology.
All right. Do you store the real estate tokens in a cold wallet?
You can store them in the cold wallet, depending on what network they're on. What you got to understand is that cold wallets aren't compatible with every single token that's out there. So if you're purchasing tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, for the most part, there's a number of cold wallets because those tokens are coming in the form of NFTs. There's a number of different wallets where you are able to hold those NFTs, non-fungible tokens, being ERC 721, ERC 1155 tokens in that cold wallet. So in some instances, yes. And let me say this about this space. There's no black and white in this space. There's no one answer for all questions either. Sometimes you got to do a little bit digging and see what fits and what don't fit.
What do you think? Oh, hold on. What do you think about buying crypto with a trust?
So buying crypto with the proceeds from the trust and then replacing it in the trust is a good idea. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I really don't even understand it. I understand the question, but it's like, what's the difference? Well, no, not what's the difference, because it does take off liability as far as who's purchasing it. So if you understand trust contracts, purchasing and placing the cryptocurrencies in the trust, I think are the top tier asset allocation as far as what to do with it once you do purchase it. But no, there's nothing wrong with purchasing crypto with a trust. All you're just doing is using another entity to purchase those digital assets.
What other exchanges do you recommend other than Coinbase?
I never recommended Coinbase, but I mean, you can use Coinbase. You can use actually, y'all can really use y'all Cash App to purchase Bitcoin, anyways. But you can check out KuCoin. Me personally, I suggest individuals start looking for and finding ways to do peer-to-peer transactions. In the United States, I'm gonna tell you like this: it's hard to find regulated entities to purchase cryptocurrency through, though they are opening up the doors for like Robinhood, the PayPals. But one of the biggest companies in the US that individuals are going to be able to use, especially if you're new, if you're just trying to connect the if you're just trying to connect a bank account or a credit card or a debit card, Coinbase is most likely going to be your go-to, depending on how much boots on the ground you are. But you do have the liberty. If we go to liberty.x, you do have the liberty to check out. Oh, hold on. What is it? Liberty X Bitcoin. Here we go. You can go check out your stores, your retail. Let's see if we type in. Let's just search real quick. Let's go 604. Let's go 60644. That's a panel lock. This will show you where you can use debit cards, cash, which a lot of CVSs in Chicago are selling Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now. But I mean, if you don't want to use that Coinbase method, you can always go to libertyx.com and see if there are some retail stores near you where you can purchase them.
Indeed. Okay. What is a lobster wallet?
A lobster wallet is just another wallet. If I'm not mistaken, lobster wallet deals with the XLM Stellar Lumens network. It's just a wallet, just a non-custodial wallet. It's just the name of a non-custodial wallet, though there's nothing special about it. That's like asking what is a trust wallet. A trust wallet is just a wallet that holds cryptocurrencies. So there's not a big explanation to give to what is a lobster wallet. It's a cryptocurrency wallet. It's just one of the choices that you have, but that's it.
What's the benefits of having an ETH if we already have domains? Are the domains going away eventually?
Wait, I don't understand the question. What's the point of having ETH?
Yeah, I think Shay, I think you're gonna have to elaborate on that question.
Let me try to see if I can see it and see if I can read it differently. What's the use of having ETH? Well, we'll go to the next one while they elaborate, because I really don't understand the question or how they worded it.
Okay. What's your top 6 coins, Bully?
Oh man.
You know they're gonna
man.
You know they're gonna ask that.
Okay. You know what? I could throw something out there. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have top coins. I got projects that I like, and there's no top to it. It depends on what I'm doing at any given time. But if I had to create a list of 6 cryptocurrencies let's just say I could only invest in 6 cryptocurrencies. What would those 6 cryptocurrencies be? It definitely would be Bitcoin and Ethereum. I would have to say Polygon's Matic. I would have to say Thorchain's Rune. I would have to say Kava. And last but not least, number 6. Who could number 6 be? Number 6, man, it's a hard question. Mana. No, it ain't. It'd be Mana, which is the token of Decentraland. If I had to pick 6, those be my 6.
Yeah, I remember you talking about Mana a while ago. In one of our workshops, you was talking about Mana.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That's probably one of the most highly undervalued tokens in this space, only because of its use case.
Damn, man. Let's get to the next question. Wait, hold on, where is it? Would there be any effect of quantum computing on the crypto market? That's a good question.
It's a possibility. They've been speaking about it, but from my research and what I've looked up, they say what do they say? The way so check this out, right, Brother Rich? The way the Bitcoin blockchain works is almost like it's alive, right? Meaning that from my research, when it's attacked, the way that the code works, it almost like Wolverine not rejuvenates. What does Wolverine do when he gets hurt? He what's the word? Almost like self-heals itself. And then it's able to, almost like evolution, it's able to then, how am I trying to say this? Create barrier through the code because of the attack to then thwart another attack like that. So as we look at quantum computing interacting with Bitcoin, the blockchain, I think it's something that it'll be able to be absorbed and then evolve to where it can work side by side with the quantum computing that's coming up. I know that's one of the biggest things that people are kind of eerie about, kind of scared about. But in actuality, we really don't know what's going to happen till it comes.
Okay. Where's this question at? Hold up. Oh, do you think Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin?
Now, when they say that, do they mean price wise, or do they mean?
I'm assuming. I'm assuming price wise. I'm assuming.
I wouldn't count it out. It's a toss in the air. I really couldn't tell. Reason being, ETH doesn't have a maximum or total supply. Bitcoin only going to have a certain amount. ETH can constantly be created. Even though they are burning more ETH now, since it's moved from proof of work to proof of stake, it's really supply and demand. So if we're able to create more supply, it kind of keeps that cap or that price down at a certain level. When something runs out and it's very scarce, it can up that amount of value for it. Now, let me say this. There's currencies that have cost more than Bitcoin in the past. But what you want to pay attention to is market cap, not so much the price. Now, can I see ETH flipping Bitcoin's market cap? That's a possibility. It doesn't mean that Ethereum is going to cost more than Bitcoin though at that current time.
Okay. Do you still like Atomic Wallet, or is it better to just use MetaMask?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I haven't used Atomic Wallet in some years now. It's some years. So just with the integrations that MetaMask now has, I prefer to use MetaMask over the Atomic Wallet. Let me say that.
Okay. Let's see. When is your next class?
So in fact, I'm glad they asked that. I've actually been holding boot camps every single Friday. Some local out here in Chicago, but they're all virtual. They're only $50 a class. The classes run anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. Right now, we're on week 4. The last 3 weeks are obtainable if you want to get caught up to where we're at on week 4. But as of right now, I got like a 6 to 8 to maybe 10 week course going on that I started the first week of January. And we've been running it every single week. I haven't missed a beat yet. So if you want to jump on those, follow my page, Chicago Crypto Block Bully. And there's a fake page out there too, y'all. Do not follow the page that has a picture of a dog on it. Or if you're looking for me, I have above 20,000 followers. Anything else is a scam. So make sure you're following the correct Chicago Crypto Block Bully. In fact, let me get that pulled up here for a minute so they can see the real page. But if you click the link in my bio, it will allow you to sign up for my my upcoming class this Friday. And like I said, we're gonna have them every Friday. If you want to get caught up, all those classes, past classes are available. You can send me an email for those that are interested at blockwallstreetwork@proton.me. That's BLOCKWALLSTREETWORK@PROTON.me. Oh, and I got to change the link out of my bio. I had the link to the Metaverse in there. My apologies. But I'm going to end up changing that out, y'all.
Okay. Have you heard of driving trucks in the Metaverse and getting paid? If so, how?
No, I haven't heard of that. Nope. So I can't speak on it.
Let me see. Thoughts on Ledger Nano X?
Very good hardware wallet. In fact, they're coming out with a newer one, but very good hardware wallet. Ledger.com. Ledger are flash drive like devices, right? These are flash drive like devices that are able to hold your currencies offline. The X, unlike the Nano S, holds a couple of more cryptocurrencies a tad bit bigger. But you can actually, if I was purchasing these, I would actually probably go for the package deal. I'd probably go for the package deal where you can get a bundle pack. Let me see, where's it at? Here we go. So you can get the Ledger backup pack, which is the Nano S as well as the X. You can get a pack of the S. These are for the family. You definitely want to get these for the family. You can grab the X pack. And this is not a paid advertisement. This is just the information that y'all need.
Indeed. Will XRP make millionaires?
Man, I don't know. Brother Rich, I like to stay away from promising anybody any type of profits. What I like to promise people is understanding and education, to which then, based off your understanding and your education, you should have a monetary return based off the work and the due diligence you put in. But I've never promised people profits, bro. Now, yeah, I'm not even going to speak on that because I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to promise. I'm not here to promise millionaire status. What I'm here to tell you is that from my experience, if you're able to obtain the information that I'm sharing, you should be able to grow, obtain, and pass down generational wealth. Now, however you look at that, if you look at that as being rich off of one of these cryptocurrencies, then so be it. But for me to just flat out say XRP is going to make somebody a millionaire, I mean, if you got $100,000 to buy on it right now and it goes up 10x, you're a millionaire. But what does that help? You get what I'm saying, Brother Rich? So I stay away from those type of questions.
Okay. Yeah, that's the most hyped coin on the internet. So there's no getting around that question. So that's why I had to add. That question is going to be asked a whole lot. Like
about that, Brother Rich. That's damn near one of the worst. That's one of the worst performing assets as far as the major currencies go. And what I mean by that, if we look at XRP long term, right? We look at it long term. Well, I'm gonna tell you how you can tell how valuable assets are within this space. And the biggest thing you can look at is when the hype is there, is it able to exceed its previous levels? This thing has not been able to exceed its previous high since 2017, 2018. We're in 2023, Brother Rich, and it ain't got nowhere close to that level ever again. So when I look at things like that, but then I'm looking at all these other currencies that are, in the next, because 2020 from COVID to 2022 was one of the biggest bull markets that we've had in the last couple of years, and Ethereum did not make it to its previous high, nor did it exceed it. If we look here at BNB, this is where BNB was in 2017. This is where it was in 2022, 2021. If we look at Ethereum, right? This is where it was in 2018, 2017. This is where it was in 2022, 2021, 2022. If we look at, let me see if Rune even goes back that far. Hold on. This is what I want to see in an asset. If I'm thinking something's going to get me rich, Brother Rich, let me see, 20, it only goes back to 19, but look where it's at since then. I need to see time and time again that this thing has outperformed its earlier runs when the amount of capital was there for it to do it. Now, people will say, oh, well, XRP is being suppressed and the government's telling, hey, that's cool, fine and dandy. I can go off. I'm only going off what the charts are showing me. You get what I'm saying? So I know that it's a lot of hype around XRP. And I'm not saying XRP isn't going to go on to do great things. What I want to tell y'all is that you got a whole space out here, though. You got a whole ecosystem out here. Don't get caught up on one cryptocurrency, y'all. Because there's been a lot of people that only invested in XRP that had been waiting to make their money back off it. And it hasn't happened yet. That's all I can say.
Indeed. Yeah, that's a very common asked question. So I'm glad you answered it, my brother. We're going to do 2 more questions and then we're going to get out of here. Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. What's going on?
Let me say this too. I got to, because I see somebody ask about how do they get started. They're a beginner in this space. If you click the link in my bio, right? Hold on, let me make sure it's there now. Make sure. Hold on, make sure. Yes, there it is. If you click the link in my bio and you scroll down, I got a preview of a beginner's book, and then you can just purchase the book, and the book does come with a free consultation. But it's called The Puzzle: The Enigma Behind Bitcoin and Cryptocurrency.
Very good book. Very good book.
Man, bro, I should have actually brought this out like how what is it? Amazon and all. It probably would have been a bestseller, but it's going to give you a proper introduction to what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is. Let this be the book that creates a foundation for you, and then let the consultation that comes with the book be the conversation that builds on top of that foundation for you. But you can just come get a preview of it to see if it's something that I guarantee anybody that reads these first couple of pages, if you don't know anything about it, you're going to be sucked in and want to know the rest of it because it's very in-depth. It cuts all the fluff out. I'm not in all the fluff is gone, y'all. It's just straight information. Just straight information.
This is an interesting comment. Somebody said the charts do not tell the whole story. I think that's pretty interesting. What do you think about that comment?
No, charts don't tell the whole story. That's why you got to look for utility too. But charts, so as far as price action goes, charts do tell the story. Ain't shit else you got to look at other than charts, in my humble opinion. Now, can you add on the fundamentals and the utility of a token? Absolutely. But if you're looking to make money off of something and it's going down year after year after year, I'm going to go with what the charts are telling me and not go with my, I think or I believe. I'm not into belief. I'm into finding a way to create generational wealth. And I'm only going to be able to do that with assets that are going to appreciate against the US dollar. So regardless of how my personal feelings are on the project, if it's not appreciating against the dollar at an exponential amount, year in, year out, especially if it's unable to reach its previous highs, then in the charts, it's telling me what I need to know as far as my investments go. So,
indeed. All right, let's get to one last question. Let's see. Let me look at the chat again.
That must be somebody that heard about XRP.
Best ways to purchase gold and silver.
Huh? If you're talking about cryptocurrency, I mean, I'm gonna show you my go-to, which I've shown on Brother Rich's page.
Yeah.
JM Bullion. You can go to JM Bullion. Let's see. And this is when I knew crypto had a value, Brother Rich. When I think that, because remember, everyone's always like, oh no, gold and silver is what you want, and forget crypto. When I think that they was giving gold and silver away at a discounted rate from dollars to crypto, like, look, if you use your card or use PayPal, you're gonna pay $36.57. If you use crypto, you're gonna pay $35.48. And if you use crypto, let's just say we want to buy 50 ounces. All right, we want to buy 50 ounces. Let's go ahead and check out. Let's say we want to use cryptocurrency. All orders that total over 3,000 will require identity verification, meaning all orders under 3,000 will not require you to have to do any type of identity verification. This is with crypto, and you're paying at a discount. In fact, all crypto orders receive a 3% discount relative to card and PayPal pricing. Now, why would they be giving away gold and silver at a discount? Wouldn't you think if this wasn't, wouldn't you think they upcharge you if you wanted to use crypto, Brother Rich?
For real.
Just something y'all need. But anyways, to answer the question though, you can go to JM Bullion and use cryptocurrency to buy gold and silver.
Yeah, family. So listen, man, family, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Bitcoin Bully, I want to thank you for coming back on the show, my brother. We got I'm gonna call you tomorrow because I want to chop it up with you about a couple of things. So I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow. But man, it's good to have you back on here, schooling us on the whole digital game, the financial game in the digital world, man. It's a new money matrix, as you say, and I definitely want to be prepared for everything that's going on out there. I'm going to check out that Soulbound thing tonight and see what that's about, because I never heard about that, and you'd be telling me about all the new stuff. So I'm definitely going to see what the hell is that about, man. So I want to thank you for coming on here. Leave any information, anything you got coming up. Let the people know, my brother, so they can follow you.
All right. So, one of the things, my clothing line, if you're interested in looking fly, with the crypto, go ahead and go to Vintage Apparel. That's vintage, like vintage, but it's vintage. And it stands for Bitcoin in nature truly also gives equity, which equity is the quality of being fair and impartial, which in my humble opinion is what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency brings to the table. So vintageapparel.com for the clothing. Chicago Crypto Block Bully with the picture, glasses, not a dog. Click the link in my bio if you want to sign up for any type of one-on-one assistance. Beginner's book. If you want to be part of Friday's boot camp, click the link in the bio. Once again, I am having a class this Friday. In fact, let me say this out there too. I thought I had an affair to do Friday night, so I was rescheduling the boot camp this week for Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. I had it wrong. The actual affair is on Saturday night. So I'm going to actually be having the boot camp this Friday. If you're in the Chicagoland area and you want to come out, it's only $50 a ticket. Reach out to me. I'm going to give you the location. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go through a lot of in-depth information so you can be caught up. You're probably going to want to grab at least the first week and the third week. You can skip the second week because we focused on technical analysis, but you're at least going to need week 1 and week 3 in order to be caught up with week 4.
Indeed, man. Once again, y'all, I want to thank you, my brother, for coming on the show. And family, we signing out this Brother Rich. We see you next time, family. Peace.